Hi, I'm Rhonda Wepler. I'm an artist in residence at the Museum of Arts and Design here in New York City, and I'm making some art projects for the last few weeks on my dining table here.
I often make artworks using everyday materials, like this community collaborative digital photo mural I made with over 100 kids using sculptures made of chocolate fondant, candy, and sprinkles. This series of tutorials will show you how to use materials from your kitchen and home to make gifts that fit in a standard size envelope to mail to friends and family. This episode's project was inspired by this painting of cakes by artist Wayne Thibault, and this chair made of rolled up recycled paper by another artist in residence at the Mad Museum of Arts and Design, Yuki Gray. I think I smell birthday cake. Oh, it's a scented roll up birthday cake card. It's my sister's birthday soon, so I came up with this miniature sculpture of her favorite food, birthday cake. This low calorie marvel unrolls to reveal a birthday message. Here are the materials you'll need for this project. Please pause the video here to get a closer look. You will need a white twist tie. Trim off a bit of the white part on both sides to make it narrower. You will need a piece of full-size poster or Bristol board, about 28 inches long. This is some scrap that I had. You can also glue together smaller pieces, but the pieces should be a bit thicker than regular paper, or you may end up with a very skinny cake. Measure a 1/4 inch strip for the candles and a 1/2 inch strip for the cake. Mark with a pencil. Cut out the full strip. Measure a 1/4 inch from the end for the center candle, and then 1.5 inches further past this. To make the card roll smoothly, use a pair of scissors to curl, as shown. Be sure to do this a few times. You are going to cut out the notch you marked, leaving the 1/4 inch at the end for the center candle. However, instead of cutting the edge of the candle, fold first, then tear. The torn fibers will be easier to blend into the candle than a cut edge. Erase any pencil marks. Use a toothpick to help roll up the candle. Roll a few times until smooth. Pull out the toothpick and roll tighter. Place some white glue on the end of the strip and also on the candle part. Spread more evenly, making sure to get the candle. Cut a piece of trimmed twist tie about a 1/2 inch long. Lay in the candle area and allow the end to peek out the top like a wick. Allow this to dry for a few minutes and then add some more white glue. And now roll up the candle around the twist tie. Roll the candle part to shape. You will need to do these steps again as part of the other 4 candles later. Spread some more glue on the strip up until the cut notch. Now roll this part up tightly. Clamp with a paper clip while this dries. While you're waiting, cut 4 more pieces of trimmed twist tie for the other 4 candle wicks. They're about a 1/2 inch long. You will also need 4 pieces of paper about a 1/2 inch wide. This shouldn't be the thick paper, but just regular old white paper. By now the center candle should have dried, so you can take off the paper clip and roll up the strip. Once you have rolled it up, take an elastic band and wrap it around the center. Now push up from the bottom. Mark with a pencil where you would like the candles to go. You may have to try a few times to center. Just mark the best spaced ones with an X at the end. Now take the elastic off and unroll. Look for the marks you left and erase the mistake ones. Use a pencil to mark each candle with a 1/4 inch. Lightly fill between the candles with a little bit of pencil shading. You can use clips to help keep the strip from rolling up on you. You want the edges of each candle to be torn, not cut, so they blend in. So only cut in the middle of the shaded in spaces first. Then cut across to each side of the candles, about 1/32 of an inch, or 1 millimeter. Now fold the edges of the candle. Now tear all the shaded parts off. Erase any pencil marks. If you want your candle to have stripes, draw now with a fine permanent marker. I'm using almond extract mixed with a tiny amount of food coloring for paint. The extract will also scent the cake. The coloring is strong, so I just use a drop and try not to mix it all in at once. It's good to test the dye mix on a scrap of the poster board before painting on the cake. Curl the candles a bit. Put a little bit of white glue in each candle. Lay a piece of the twist tie in each candle. Add another drop of glue on each twist tie. Now lay the little pieces of paper on top. Make sure to press down firmly so they don't fall off. Allow those to dry and paint the center candle. For these stripes, use your marker as a swirl around the candle. Paint these with the food color and almond extract. Now go back to the other 4 candles and curl them more. Place a small drop of glue in each candle and blend with a toothpick. Squeeze and roll each candle a few times to shape. Once the glue has dried, open up each twist tie and trim to make more of a flame shape. Use a permanent orange marker to color the front and back of each flame. Don't forget the center candle. Use a fine black permanent marker to color the wire as the wick. Now trim off the excess 1/4 inch strip at the top. Roll up the whole strip. You will need either tiny rubber bands like these that are normally used for crafts or for hairstyling, or you can also find rubber bands in the grocery store holding vegetables like broccoli. The blue rubber band on this cake was from green onions. Place a rubber band in the middle of your cake to hold it. Draw icing along the edge of the cake with a marker. I found using a marker that matched the rubber band helped disguise it a bit more. Draw another band at the top of the cake. Place your rubber bands on top of these bands. You can leave the cake like this as a cake with white icing, or paint the sides and top. Here I will show you how to make this lovely blue icing drip cake. I make a very pale blue icing color using a lot of the almond extract and a little bit of blue food coloring. I try to hold both hands steady, turning the cake as I go. The cut paper ends at the top of the cake will soak the dye a bit more and turn darker, so I watered down the dye a bit more with more almond extract. You can soak the bottom of the cake with extra almond extract if you want it to smell stronger. Or decorate with marker sprinkle dots like this one. To make a note, open up the cake first. Avoid pulling the elastics up over the candles as they might get damaged. you can write a nice long birthday message on the inside of the cake. You can sand the cake on its own in an envelope or make a party backdrop like this. The table is just a fold-up piece of card that flattens when the card is shut. Here is the pattern for the table. I wrote the assembly instructions for the cake and the table on the back of the card. To fit it into a standard size envelope, first pull apart the cake like this. Find the outside of the cake that you see and fold after the painted part so you don't crease the middle of the cake. Also find the 4 candle part and keep this as one unfolded area. The rest can just be squashed down randomly like this. It's helpful to squeeze it between a piece of card and use a paper clip to keep shut. Oops, I forgot the rubber bands. It's a good idea to give extra just in case those break. Now for my sister's cake. How will all these candles fit into a standard size envelope? My sister lives in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Happy birthday, Janelle.
Well, thanks for watching. Next time we'll be making takeout container swimming pools. Stay safe out there.